The Cobra effect. Why good intentions don't solve problems. We're going to get to it summary. There are problems that our government, our politicians have campaigned on over the years, but they are not yet solved. Like maybe poor sanitation, low quality of education, poor housing, and etc. etc. So this is all tied to the Cobra effect. Why good intentions don't really solve problems. So the concept was proven in colonial India, where under the British colonial rule, the city had the cobra problem. They had a lot of snakes. So to control the cobra population, the government offered bounty on every dead cobra. Now they are compensating people to kill the cobras and then of course bring them to the government. The payment was pro rata. Huge numbers of cobras were handed in, but the problem got worse and not better. Why do you think this happened? It was because people realized they could benefit off the bounty by breeding cobras, not to kill them in the wild, but to kill them for the bounty. They were not going to look for them in the wild, in the streets. They were now rearing. They started small cobra farms. Small scale cobra farming operations cropped up all over Delhi. So when the government became aware of this practice, they discontinued the bounty program, which was their policy in the first place. Now, without the incentive, the cobra breeders released their now worthless snakes into the wild. As a result, this of course increased the cobra population rather than decrease it in the city. All this was exacerbated by the government's own policy, like shooting yourself on the foot. So it was well intentioned, but it backfired badly, having an opposite effect to that which was intended. So Cobra effect revolves around three elements. That is the intention, action or incentive, and then an effect. So in our case, in the case above, applying the same rational law logic, the intention was for the government to reduce the cobra population. The action or incentive was a bounty for the dead cobra, compensation or payment for the dead cobras that every individual brought. And then the effect was people starting cobra farms. So if we bring this closer home to our own slums or the problems that bedevil us as a society. Now, for example, Kibera, for how long have the government tried to improve on housing or levels of education or sanitation in the place, but to no avail? What happens is this. When the government offers a proposition, or people take it upon themselves to write propositions, take them to government or abroad to raise money to bring these people or to improve the level, the living standards, or the quality of housing or the sanitation in these places, their intention is good. They write propositions. The government is expected to release money for the projects that they see are workable. And then as a result, still these people don't get out of the problem. They don't get the quality of education that was written in the proposals. This is because it's like appealing to people's greed. The government, in the issue of housing, the government has its own corrupt officials who want to buy the same houses or take them for cheap and sell them for even better profits. Now that is one scenario. Another one is the same people, the slum dwellers themselves, who manage to get these houses, end up renting rather than staying in them. They rent or sell them. Either or totally or absolutely sell them again, rather than keep their own houses that they were given or was intended to improve their living standards. Now the non-profit that also are incentivized to write proposals. Also, deep inside, they are also interested in this money, of course, and there are kickbacks that the government or government officials are getting. For example, we saw when US aid was cut, very many people were benefiting from that US aid. First being non-profits. Non-profits, it's an oxymoron. It's a non-profit. It's not supposed to profit off people's plight, but it happens. That is the one. Why? Governments themselves want kickbacks, or politicians. They want kickbacks, so they approve of that money to go and help people in a certain area or improve their living standards, with an intention that they themselves will get kickbacks from the proceeds of the aid. When we take it, for people who are interested in international politics, Gaza is one place that receives, that enclave receives a lot of money in terms of aid, but the problem, or the living standard, never seem to improve. Why? When the terrorists themselves, when that money or that aid comes into the ground, they commandeer it, they take it and go and sell it in black market, or that which comes in terms of money, they take to enrich themselves. Now, the money that was intended to go and take people off their misery ends up lining pockets of a few individuals. That is basically another example. Is the homelessness in California, or what incentivizes immigrants, illegal immigration into the US. You realize that the politicians themselves, so the Biden administration was kind of propping up the people, the illegal immigrants. They gave them credit cards, they gave them housing, they gave them medication, in the name of helping, or in the name of altruism, being the good person. But the government itself was getting a lot of kickbacks. The houses, the hotels where these people are staying, actually belongs to these politicians, or their acolytes. So good intentions never solve problems. That is why, for people who are really banking on government to help them, you'll wait. So please subscribe, click that notification bell so that you get notified anytime I post. Thank you so much.